Hey there everyone, Hanyou here, and welcome back to Higurashi When They Cry, Chapter 1, Onikakushi. It's been a while, I'm sorry, kinda had a mini bout with depression, long story, don't really want to get into it. That being said, welcome back. Yeah, so we're back, we're gonna pick up where we left off. And so let's just jump right in, shall we? Rika-chan placed her hand on my head and began petting it, congratulating me on my victory. Huh? Rika-chan is... Rina and Satoko gaped at us as if they had seen a ghost. What is it, Rina? It's not as if I cheated or anything, right? This was fair and square. Rika only pets someone on the head to console them. Huh? What's the meaning of... At that moment, Rina let out a small shriek. Keiichi-kun? This is how it was? You know, Kei-chan, I thought you'd read into it that far. Hehehe. Everyone froze. No, it was just me. It was a gamble. If you had just jumped to conclusions like a little brat, then I would have lost. It was the answer everyone was certain about. Mion picked up the card from the losing hand. Kei-chan, you know you should take pride in this loss. She turned it around. That card, the card that proclaimed the victor of this duel. The card under the 7 of clubs, unbelievable, it was the 2 of diamonds. It was a setup behind the setup. If I just picked the right one without reading so deeply into it. I, Mion Sonozaki, as the club president, do accept Keiichi Maebara's membership into our club. As I slumped to my knees, dazed, everybody let out a round of applause for the excellent effort I gave despite my defeat. So, he still lost. The match is now over. Today's victor is me, Mion Sonozaki. And our exalted loser is Keiichi Maebara. Everyone made a commotion, applauding cheerfully. I felt I was bested, but I was so soundly beaten that I unexpectedly felt it unexpectedly felt rather refreshing. When Mi-chan pulled that little trick behind her back, I got excited, thinking she's going to do it again. When Keiichi-san stopped the moment before touching the correct card, I thought, he fell for it. He fell for it quite handily. Huh? Hey, wait. All of them knew from the start and still got so excited so earnestly. Everyone got excited to make it more fun. You're all demons! You monsters! Now then, Kei-chan, it's time for your penalty. Since it's your first day participating, I'll go easy, okay? It would be a problem if you refused to come to school. The other 3 members held down my arms and shoulders firmly. Mion approached, licking her lips. Her right hand went to pull something out of her pocket. That's a felt tip marker, and it's large and oil-based. Okay, here we go. She took the cap off the marker and brought it slowly up to my face while I was immobilized. No. Oh. I let out my death throes. Yeah, well, that was interesting. Like the little short segments. It's weird and interesting how they set this up. Some reviews of the game did say it's a little slow to get started, but it does, but I've heard fantastic things about the story, so I want to see what happens when it really gets started, though. As soon as club activities were finished, Rena flew off. Probably so she could dig out that cute Colonel Sanders that she wasn't able to take home yesterday. So today it was just Mion and me walking home together, a rather rare occurrence. A mountain of treasure, huh? The guys throwing it away probably never thought in their wildest dreams that Rena would be grateful to them. Mountain of treasure meaning that damn construction site from before? Alright, Mion would probably tell me. That murder by dismemberment that seemed to have happened there. Over there, you know, at that damn construction site. Did something happen there? Long ago? Something sure did. A grand battle. There were sit-ins and demonstrations. It was a bit different from what I wanted to hear, but I decided I'd listen just the same. It was our land that was going to be sunk into the damn reservoir. I would have fought as well, probably. The government guys were really adamant about it, acting all big and full of themselves. Since they figured out that they couldn't settle it with money, they did a bunch of nasty stuff. They were nasty guys. Mion spoke excitedly as if the whole thing was happening right in front of her. I'm amazed you guys won. You were facing the federal government, right? The mayor and prominent figures in the village all signed petitions. They went to Tokyo, struck deals with the legislators, and as a result, the development plan was retracted. It was our complete victory. Ah ha 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 ha. There wasn't any violence, was there? Like assaults or murders? None. She promptly cut me off, the same as Rena had. Her words signaled the end of discussion. Tomatake-san said one arm wasn't found in the incident. I thought that murder by dismemberment had occurred, but I guess I was wrong. My curiosity unsated, I sighed dejectedly inside. Later. See you tomorrow. K-chan, you can't wash that off until you get home, got it? I got it, I won't. Mion held back her laughter while stealing glances at my face. Wonder what kind of nasty doodles she drew. Damn you, Mion, you shall rue this day. If our roles are ever reversed, I'm going to slop it on. All over your face so you won't be able to take it off, even with a scouring pad. Upon arriving home, I ran straight into my mom, embarrassing myself yet again. The mood I'd come home to was already on edge. It's not an uncommon thing in our family. Whenever Dad can't come up with a good idea, it always ends up like this. He stomps around the house with his arms crossed. Mom whispered into my ear, "Welcome home, Keiichi. Dad, he's in a bit of a rut right now. Don't bother him, okay? He can't come up with a new idea. It's because the deadlines are so close together this time. Your dad needs time to recharge or he doesn't work as well. Dad's paintings feed our entire family. If he runs out of ideas, then it's the end of the Mebars. We've never gone hungry before. Could it be that my dad is a master painter? Wouldn't it be easier to get an idea taking a walk outside rather than wandering around the house? The theme of the piece this time is in the household. So it seems your dad wants to use this house as a motif. That's a quite bothersome motif. Keiichi, pick up your room. It looks terrible. Sorry, I'll clean it up later. Ah, come on. Please don't use my room as the motif. Keiichi, there's still some time before dinner. So please go take a walk out back or something. His bad mood is only temporary. As soon as he gets an idea, his mood improves and he starts humming. Until then, it would be a bad idea to just go take a walk, so I don't... It wouldn't be a bad idea to just go take a walk, so I don't aggravate him further. Well, I guess I will then. Said I was going to take a walk, but I didn't have any particular destination in mind. I just need to kill some time. I got on my bike and pondered where to go. I could just go read at the bookstore, but it would take about an hour by bike to get to town. It would be dark by the time I got back, so I didn't want to go unless I had to. The roads at night here in Hinamizawa creep me out. Probably for good reason, too. But I guess we'll figure that out later, now won't we? If Mion or Satoko ever found out about that, I smiled wryly. Oh yeah, Rena was probably still at the Mountain of Treasure, the damn construction site. The excavation of Colonel Sanders was probably taking her a while. Wouldn't be so bad to have her owe me one. She might return the favor next time we have club activities. With a little bit of self-interest in mind, I set off towards the damn construction site. Tomotake's-san might be there as well. The only person with information about the incident that both Rena and Mion denied knowing anything about. If I met him again, I'd like to ask him for more details. To ask, was there really a dismemberment here in Hinamizawa? That was my real intention. What? That part of it looked like it had water in it. Spotted Rena struggling on the slope of the garbage pile. It looked like Colonel Sanders was lodged in there pretty firmly. Didn't look like Rena was able to excavate him by herself. Realizing that Tomatake wasn't around, I began climbing up the slope unsteadily. Hey Rena, looks like you're working up a sweat. Whoa, Keiichi-kun. What brings you to a place like this? A place like this, huh? I see, so she was aware of it at least. I received a signal for emergency assistance at the accident site. Where's the injured party? Huh? Accident? Huh? But there was a report Colonel Sanders was buried alive in the trash pile. Huh? Oh, that. You scared me. Don't frighten me like that, Keiichi-kun. I was just kidding. I thought you might be struggling by yourself, so I came to help you out. Eh? You came? For me? Oh. Well, I filled my quota for today. If I don't see Rena blush at least once a day, then I'm not getting my daily required nutritional intake. He's an interesting character. I'll definitely give him that. He's a definite tease, but he's a decent guy, you know. He likes to tease her and stuff, but just kidding. You're embarrassing me now. So, huh? What part was the joke? What part was it? I just ignored her bewilderment. Okay, now move out of the way. So where is Colonel Sanders? Ah, sorry. Can't you see him in that gap? He's really buried in there. The Colonel Sanders was sideways, surrounded by boards and other construction materials, like they were caging him inside. According to Rena, it wasn't like this yesterday. Seems as though another illegal dumper came yesterday, dumped again, and now he's buried like this. You're trying to move this pile all by yourself? With those scrawny arms? There's no way there's no way she would be able to do that with her slender arms. But Colonel Sanders, so cute! There's a chain on the Colonel Sanders at the store. This one, though, I should be able to take this one home. Haul. If Rena gave up on this Colonel Sanders, she'll probably start devising a plan to steal the one in front of the store. As Rena's guardian, I won't allow her to sully her hands with crime. Out of the way, I'll do it. Rena blushed again, but this time I left it alone. The pile was enormous. Also, the more days we wasted, the more likely another illegal dumping would occur. If it got buried any deeper, there would be nothing that could be done. Keiji-kun, I'll help too. Let me help. You just get in the way, so stay back. Hurry! Pulling out scraps, bending them, tossing them aside, I quickly became covered in sweat and dust. Flying objects drew beautiful arcs across the twilight sky, one after another. Lumber, timber, plywood. Damn it! No matter how much I threw out, there was still more. Even though I could see Colonel Sanders right there. After grandstanding like that in front of Rena, I felt frantic because of how little I had progressed. If I was going to do this seriously, I'd need an axe or saw or something. That's enough, Keiichi-kun. You're so sweaty. You don't have to try so hard. I'm just doing it for you, Rena. Don't worry about it. That's kind of like how I'd actually say it. Like, I'm doing this for you. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. That seems like the offhanded, the type of offhanded comment I'd make without even really thinking about it. Rena began sputtering and turned beet red. Ah, whoops. I meant to say I was trying my best so as to keep her from becoming a criminal. Oh well. But yeah, that just seems like the type of offhanded comment that I'd make. I guess I just need a break. This is pretty tough. Sprawled on my back over the grassy slope. I'm so sorry. You're covered in sweat. Rena patted her handkerchief against my forehead. It felt pretty nice. Well, wait here a minute, okay? My house is pretty close. I'll bring you some barley tea, okay? Leaving the handkerchief on my forehead, Rena took off running. The cries of the Higurashi gently cooled the air. After I was certain that Rena was gone, I picked myself up and headed towards what I'd discovered earlier. That was a garbage pile of magazines and newspapers bound up in twine. Unless I'm mistaken, I believe it was around here. There it was. They were bound stacks of not-so-reputable tabloids. They were stacked chronologically, going back quite a few years. It was quite a disturbing incident. It seems they haven't been able to find one of the arms, you see. If it was just as Tomitake-san said, then undoubtedly there would be mention of the murder. These are troubled times. There is no end to these sickening incidents. There's a large part of society drawn in by these incidents as well. So it had to be recorded, somewhere. I unfastened the packages and opened the rain-soaked pages carefully, looking over the table of contents. Not here, next one, not here, next one. It was hard to search since I didn't know when it happened. I didn't know who the perpetrator or the victim was either. I only knew it happened here. I looked up every so often, checking to see if Rena had come back or not. I wouldn't want her to see me gawking at a dirty magazine, but it wasn't just that. Both Rena and Mion said they didn't know, but it had happened without a doubt. As long as Tomatake-san wasn't lying. Then if both Rina and Mion... Ah yeah, there was. If they had just said that, then I wouldn't have gotten so hung up on it. An incident that neither Rina nor Mion wished to talk about. Trying to uncover it after they tried to conceal it out of good intentions. That made me feel like I was acting against my friends. Hinamizawa dam worker lynching, murder by dismemberment. That seems like pretty conclusive evidence if you ask me. Here it is. The featured article was in the back and it seemed that there was a photograph in the colored pages at the front. The pages of the featured article were stuck together and weren't easy to open. Rina could return at any moment. Feeling rushed, I gave up and opened the photograph page. Police investigators were carrying a body bag, and newspaper reporters were all bathing it in camera flashes. The image was blurry and hard to understand, but I could definitely make out the headlines. Tragic nightmare at the Hinamizawa construction site, lynching and murder dismemberment. The victim was the site foreman. He had assaulted his assailants daily with an explosive backlash from his daily actions. It's a horrible image to see the site foreman as it happened. It really did happen. It seemed the details were on the next page. I turned the page without pausing. On it was... The assailants butchered the victim's body with hatchets and pickaxes, then used an axe to split the cadaver into 6 pieces, the head, arms, legs, and torso. I could understand it just from the headline that it was just too terrible an incident. Normally a lynching is just assault and murder, right? Dismemberment with hatchets and pickaxes wasn't a lynching. It was a merciless killing to the letter, a brutal murder, done by a group of people. With hatchets, with pickaxes, with an axe. Ah! Eek! Sorry. Did I startle you? Rina dropped the axe she was... Oh, boy. That would scare me, too, especially after reading that. She was holding on to the grass after being startled by my voice. Kichi-kun, you see, earlier, you said it would help if you had an axe, didn't you? So then I brought an axe for you from the shed. Rina fluttered her arms in a panic, continuing to explain and apologize. Yeah. It seemed I'd been glaring at her pretty intensely. I'm sorry, I guess my reaction was a bit overboard. No, I'm sorry as well. I'm sorry. Night was drawing close. I was pretty worn out and it wouldn't hurt to do the rest tomorrow. Doesn't look like we can break that last beam without an axe. You brought it after all. I'll have to borrow it tomorrow, alright? Okay. Why do you look so glum? Tomorrow we'll be digging out Colonel Sanders, right? You're right. I really want to take Colonel Sanders home soon. We both knew it was useless to apologize any more than that. I quenched my thirst with the barley tea Rina brought and wiped off the sweat that had now gone cold. We took the path to head home. Felt quite guilty about the tabloid wrapped up in my jacket. All right. You've received new tips. Hinamizawa Dam Project and Special Tabloid Report. One man's trash achievement. Okay, let's view new tips. I wonder how long is it gonna take. October 1975. In accordance with the Prime Minister's Bulletin Number XXX, Hinamizawa's Electrical Development Master Plan was announced. The vast scope of the projected Hinamizawa Dam will have an incredibly heavy impact on the village of Hinamizawa. The flooded area caused by Hinamizawa Dam would include 5 areas of Hinamizawa: Takatsudo, Kyotsu, Matsumoto, and Yagochi. Submerged area includes 291 houses. That's a lot. Population 1,251. Again, that's a lot. 1 elementary school, 1 middle school, 1 post office, 1 agricultural cooperative, 1 forestry department lumberyard, 5 shrines, 2 temples, and 1 fishery. All of these communal, cultural, agricultural areas and places of worship will be indefinitely submerged at the bottom of the artificial lake basin. So basically, fuck culture. Because that's a lot, man. That's... See, if I was a politician, losses such as those, especially stuff like the shrines and the schools and stuff like that, are not acceptable losses. Like, no. The shrines and temples and stuff like that, post office, fishery, I mean, it's going to be a dam, so technically the whole place would be a fishery then. Agricultural cooperative, that can be moved, but elementary schools, middle schools, shrines and temples, those types of places, yeah. Those are unacceptable losses in my opinion, but whatever. Forsaking the hundreds of years our ancestors poured their blood and sweat into this fertile, resource-rich land is just too painful to bear. All the residents having homes that were to be submerged banded together and created Onikakushi Defense Alliance. I probably said that wrong. Dam project was halted and petitions to alter the plan were circulated. Citizens sought peaceful negotiations, but the government and its puppet company, 5X, openly refused. Performing unspeakable heinous acts, they quashed the democratic actions of the villagers, but the villagers did not falter. Instead, they banded together even more closely and steeled their resolve to protect their homes to the death. You know, I've made a few comparisons about the games I've been playing to what's actually going on now, and the fact that these games were actually produced and made a long time ago. But, you know, the whole thing going on, the whole Danganronpa thing sounds eerily similar to stuff to the bullshit that's going on right now. And now this whole thing that's going on with this dam project sounds very similar to me anyway, based off current events and stuff like that, to the No Dapple North Dakota the oil pipeline thing that's going on with the natives protesting and stuff like that. People, the companies doing unspeakable heinous acts to the people doing the protesting and stuff like that, like hiring mercenaries and sicking dogs on protesters. Yeah. So, yeah. It's striking similarities to current events, despite the fact that these games were actually made more than a few years ago. The continuation of that frightening Hinamazawa Dam construction project is still stalled as of today. The villagers understand that the stalling was caused by sublime power through unity, and they understand that this fearsome plan has not yet been fully withdrawn. The Onikakushi Defense Alliance has been dissolved after it did its part, but the feelings of unity it garnered have not yet been extinguished. As long as that passion resides in the hearts of the residents, they'll be able to comfort whoever next decides to sink their homes into a lake basin. Onikakushi Defense Alliance Committee Chairman Kichiro Kimiyoshi. Alright. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this episode of Higurashi When They Cry. If you did, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more content. Until next time, everybody, have a good one. I'll see you next time. And I promise it's not going to be that long between episodes. So yeah. See you next time. Bye.